An analogy that I really love is being a doctor that's on call. When your pager goes off or that phone rings and you got to get to the hospital, you have to go. And no one ever questions that the doctor has to leave right away or has to go into surgery. Similarly, as an entrepreneur, I think a big misconception is that when you own a business, a lot of people think that you're making a choice. You're choosing not to show up, or you're choosing to leave a party to go take care of something. And that's just not true. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm getting my hair done, obviously, freshening up my look. I've got a really exciting shoot that I'm doing this week on Friday. It's a very special shoot. I can't say too much about it yet. So I'm here at Artel Salon in Vancouver over on Fraser Street. I am getting my hair done for the first time by Chris Weber. I'm so excited about this because honestly, I've been wanting him to do my hair for so long. It just took me forever to get an appointment with him because he's so busy. He's famous for doing blondes and pinks and all of these funky colors. We're gonna have to throw up his Instagram right here so you guys can see. And he just made the cover of Vancouver magazine for his style because he's got impeccable style. Anyways, I'm so excited that he's freshening up my hair so we can go a little bit later.
Yeah, like that's my goal. Brighter around the face, lighter throughout, but still keep a lot of my natural color in between.
Yeah. While I sit here getting a brand new balayage, I wanted to do a Q&A. You guys have been great at asking so many questions, and I'm always just so humbled and excited and grateful that you're finding my content and that you're loving it. The first question I'm going to answer, this is a question that came through Instagram, and this came from Marcella, who says, "Hi Karen, what do you think about BCIT interior design courses?" So BCIT, for those of you guys who aren't in Vancouver, it's the BC Institute of Technology, and they have a really good interior design program. And she asks, is the certificate a good start, or is a diploma the minimum? So I actually went to BCIT. That's where I did my interior design training. And this is a little bit of a do as I say, not as I do answer. Because in all honesty, a lot of people don't know this, but when I was going to school, I had an instructor that I didn't get along with very well. And at the very end of doing my certificate, this instructor gave me a really low grade. It was barely a passing grade. Told me that I would never do commercial interior design. I have no idea what the chip was on her shoulder. And my grade wasn't high enough to be able to go on to do the diploma program. So if I wanted to actually do the diploma at that time, I would have had to redo that course. So I decided that I was going to leave school, go to work, get my hands dirty. My answer would be, it really depends on what you want to do with your career as an interior designer. I do think that getting at least a diploma is really good. And if you can get a degree in interior design, that is even better, especially if you want to work for a kick-ass firm or you want to work for a big firm. Having that raw experience and that training is so invaluable because that's very hard to teach on the job. And when I'm looking to hire, I'm always looking for those credentials. Now, if you're like me and you're very entrepreneurial and you want to get out there and start working on your own, which I don't recommend doing that early, even though I did it because I made so many mistakes along the way, then maybe just getting a certificate is good enough for you. So a question that came out on YouTube, a little bit similar to the one that I just answered. This one comes from Alex Henry, who says, I'm extremely interested in going into interior design and owning my own business, like you one day. Very sweet. I was wondering how you got started and what school you went to and what you studied. So like I was saying, I had originally done an arts degree. I did a double major at UBC. I studied philosophy and German because I just didn't know what the heck I wanted to do with myself. I knew I wanted to be creative, but I came from a very conservative family, and it was really important that I go to university. I sort of fell into interior design. When I took my first interior design course at BCIT, I loved it. I could not believe that we were talking about color theory and shapes and form. It was crazy. It was like a dream come true. I did my certificate in interior design, left, started working for a few firms, and then almost jumped out and went on my own almost immediately. Advice that I have for you, if you are thinking about doing interior design and owning your own business one day, is to really think a lot about the type of person you are. And what I mean by that is, are you a creative person or are you a very business-minded person? Because I do get this question a lot, and I will say, owning your own business, operating your own business, growing a business is a completely different animal than doing interior design work. If you are really interested in building a team, working with finances, building clients, doing business development, if you love that side of things, then owning a business is perfect for you. So the reason why I say to just really think about that a lot is because right now I think there's such a prestige, or the entrepreneur or the business owner is put up on this pedestal. I don't know why, because it's so tough and it's such a grind. And so a lot of people want to do that, even though it doesn't necessarily make them happy. So I'm going to answer another question that came through on Instagram. This is from MM Cannon. It's a quick question. Who says, would you ever be open to coaching new business women now or in the future more formally? I don't think I would ever be a business coach. No, I don't think that that's in the cards for me. I mean, I never want to say never. I do really love speaking and doing speaking engagements, and I really love teaching and coaching in a group environment that way. So I will definitely continue doing a lot of speaking engagements. But no, I don't think that I would ever take on formally coaching businesswomen.
Busy work. I like the whole time.
So here's another question from YouTube. Sophia, I'm going to just summarize this question. When I started my business, I basically started, the very first project that I did on my own was a bathroom renovation for a nightclub here in Vancouver. And she's asking, how did that lead to more clients? Realizing that you need to take on projects often just to build your portfolio, but how do you know when to say no to clients? And are there avoidable mistakes that you can make in the early days? Okay, quick answer, there are totally mistakes that you can make in the early days. Even though my journey and my path was finish my certificate and then go out on my own right away, I do not recommend doing that at all. The reason being is it was a very difficult road in the beginning for me. I really had to hustle and work really hard to build my clientele. The other thing is, which doesn't get talked about a lot, but being an entrepreneur and being in business for yourself is a very lonely journey, especially in the beginning, because the mistakes that you make and the trials and tribulations, often you're not sharing them with other people unless you have a partner. So interior design is so much more complicated than I think people give it credit for. There's space planning, there's drawings, there's finishes, there's contractors, there's budgets, there's schedules, there's timelines, there's clients, there's so many factors and so many moving parts that go into executing a really good interior design project. And I think learning that on your own early is very, very difficult. If this is really what you want to do, and you're going to do this into your late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s even, then what's the harm in going to work for a firm for 5 years or 10 years just to gain all that experience and to understand the systems and the inner workings of a company before you go out and do it on your own. So last question I'm going to answer, this one comes from Beverly Wellington. Hi Beverly, so good to see you on my social media. Love you. And she asks, so she's got a couple parts to a question. I'm going to answer one part, which is, how do you manage a personal and social life with the whirlwind of owning a successful business? Even in the early days, was work-life balance a reality? Quick answer, no. Work-life balance is not a reality. I have never believed in work-life balance, especially if you own your own business. It just can't exist. I can't even tell you the amount of times that I've been on vacation and have been all up in my email, or that I've been super stressed because of a work problem that's happening and haven't been able to unwind. When you own a business and shit is hitting the fan, or you've got the pressure of keeping everything afloat and you have to get a proposal at the door or you have to answer a client, you've got to get that stuff done. People are depending on you, and that means that you're going to have to say no to some people. It's not a choice, it's a requirement when you own your own business. Thanks so much everyone for watching. I hope you got a lot out of the Q&A. Obviously you got to meet the wonderful Chris Weber. You're going to see a lot more of him on my channel. And one of these days, I'm actually going to do a proper interview with him and how he got started and his career and all that stuff, which is going to be a really, really fun episode.
Very fun.
Yes, like super fun. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye. Cute. Oh, Minnie. Yay.
You guys can hear that heavy breathing in the background. That's Oscar.
The hand-cut, handmade, homemade pasta. Looks like linguine. It smells super delicious and fresh, ready to go in.